Embracing parenting, we empower parents to positively impact their children.
Hello parents, Grace here with Amazing Parenting. On this channel we do all things parenting. So if you're a parent, stay tuned. And if you know a parent, share these videos with them. Everything to do with parenting we cover on this channel. We have over 200 videos on parenting, different topics, different strategies, different tools to help you build that better bond between you and your child. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed, like I said, please go ahead and subscribe and share the videos and give us a like. So today we're going to talk about discipline, balanced discipline versus harsh discipline. Because there are times when, as a parent, you need to be strict and you need to be soft. And that's what we call balanced parenting, balanced discipline. And that's what we're going to cover in this session. Okay, so the first thing we're looking at is emotional safety versus fear. So when you want to correct your child or discipline your child, do you want them to be afraid of you, or do you want them to understand you're telling them off or you're saying what you're saying because you want to keep them safe? So of course we want to be on the safe side. We want to discipline our children from a safety perspective, not from we want our children to be scared of us. We don't want to instill fear in them when it comes to discipline, because we have to discipline our children. You won't have a child today and from once they're born until they're 18, you will never discipline them. You're raising a terrorist. So you must be mindful that you will have to discipline your children somewhere along the line. Somewhere along the line, you are going to have to discipline your children. But it's how you discipline them is the key. Not, I will never discipline them. So it's how. So we make sure we're disciplining our children from a safety aspect, not from a fear aspect. Okay? Teaching skills versus forcing obedience. Our children need to be obedient because, again, that is for safety. But we don't want to force them to be obedient to us. We want to teach them skills that if we teach them a certain skill, it helps them to be obedient. And when they're obedient, it's better for them in life. Because if children are not taught obedience at home, where will they learn it? At school? In the streets? In the community? In prison? So it's important that we teach our children the skills, the very skills that helps them to be obedient, rather than forcing them to be obedient without any explanation or any teaching behind what we're doing. So that's important. That balanced discipline has to be part and parcel of how we raise our children. If we are too soft with our children, they're going to grow up thinking life is a party. And if we're too harsh with our children, they're going to grow up thinking life is too serious. So having that balance of being strict and being soft and knowing when to be strict, when to be soft, that's the key. Okay? So this one we're talking about connection versus disconnection. We have to connect with our children. When we're telling our children off, we're disciplining them, we're taking away their gadgets, we're not allowing them to go out, we're grounding them. It has to be from a place of connection. Not we're telling you off and that's it. You've disconnected from them and emotionally as well. It's still all part of being connected with your child, even though you're telling them off, even though you're disciplining them, you're still keeping that connection with them. You're still keeping the connection open with them. Long-term, I love this one, long-term change versus short-term compliance. You know what it's like? Your child is 2 years old and they're just doing their own thing. And you say, oh, just leave them. They're 2 years old or they're 5 years old. They're just going through. If you don't correct certain behavior because you think it's just short term, I just don't want to handle it now. I just want an easy life. I just want a peaceful life now. You are creating a hard time for yourself as your child gets older. So it's best you deal with the short-term instances with your child than allowing them just to get away with it because you think, well, they're going through nursery, this is what they do, this is how they behave. If it's bordering on misbehavior, you have to deal with it. You have to discipline it. because it will just get out of hand. And you might be thinking, oh, it's for an easy life, let's let them have it, we'll just let them do it. That's the short term. For the long term, you're making a rod for your own back. So it's important that we recognize and deal with what we need to deal with now with our children. Okay. And then lastly, we're looking at emotional regulation and emotional suppression. We have to teach, I think we spoke about it a little bit time before, we have to allow our children to have the emotions, but regulated. Yeah? So rather than not allowing your child to cry, for instance, something has happened emotionally and they want to cry over it, and you suppress them from crying. Tell them not to cry. They're a big boy. They shouldn't cry. Or, get over it. Stop having a pity party. You are suppressing those feelings. And with feelings, when they're suppressed, they don't stay suppressed forever. They are going to come out somewhere. So it's best you allow your children to express their feelings in a controlled environment. You allow them to express their feelings where you're there to help them. Because there's going to come a time when you're not going to be there. And all those feelings that they've had or are going through, they're not going to know how to deal with them because you've suppressed them. As their parent, you've suppressed those feelings. You've not allowed them to be angry. You've not allowed them to cry. You've not allowed them to have those feelings. You've suppressed them. So it's important that we allow our children to have those feelings in a controlled environment and regulated. Okay. So we've come to the end of this session. Sessions fly by so fast. I like to keep the session short because, like I've said before in many videos, if I talk on parenting, I can talk forever. So I like to keep them short so you can just get a snippet of what you can do if you're going through something with your child at that time. You can just get a snippet, do it, and you have a result. So let's keep the videos as short as possible. So we'll end it here. But remember, all parents can be great parents. It is a journey and we will get there. Thank you. God bless.
Amazing parenting. We empower parents to positively impact their children.